Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CCG Esports once again as we are going to have yet another game today along with me and Inflict. We are back to watch CCG go off against Drugs and Pals, which we promised yesterday, and it is going to be a game in Inflict.
Well, this time around, we're going to Ancient for change
Yes.
of scenery here after quite a long time. Anubis is out here, and now CCG are going to be testing their fate on a new map. The pistol round already underway with CCG starting on the CT side, and Kraken already fallen. That's going to open up the A side, makes it slightly vulnerable, and hence force some rotations over. In the meantime, as the rotations have come through, CCG were sort of anticipating a faster push in, but that isn't happening. That's led a player to sneak all the way up. That's going to be Jersey, but he gets picked off. Beetle doubles back down, picks a player off, and that's enough of a bait for them to be able to enter onto the side. Drug and Bug have gotten control. The smoke has cut off players of CCG, and one by one they start to fall as Icarus meets the dust first.
Yes, seems to be the case. A very nice well execution onto the A side from Dragon Pugs, and they are not finding one, two, and three. Here you go, all headshots with those Glocks and USPs that they picked up from the ground, and 3K for AJ to secure the first round. CCG again, despite winning the knife round, they are gonna be giving away the pistol round here. The first one, again, a very bad luck for us to be on the CT side, as I mentioned before, and I'm going to mention again giving away that one first round, the pistol round, when you're on the CT side does hurt a lot. As the economy doesn't favor you at all after that. But, seeing Ancient really makes me happy today because it kind of reminds me of that old jungly vibe. If you remember back in the days, cobblestone map, it kind of giving me that sort of vibe. Though I'm not very well versed in Ancient maps, so I'm gonna rely on Inflict a lot more on the learning the new map to myself. I haven't played much on this map either. I just played random stuff on this. But yeah, looking at this map, it looks quite big. The middle area is quite vast, and the A seems like a very complicated place compared to B. But it seems like A is going to be the choice again and again from the side of Drugs and Pugs to infiltrate.
Yeah, they take that round quite cleanly. Didn't lose a single player. That's going to give them somewhat of an advantage. Economically speaking, but CCG, as you've mentioned, the economy not exactly a good time to be in for the CT side, particularly in this game right now. So they're going to be trying and building up an arsenal. One of them is going to be a FAMAS, but one player, Hype King, in order to get a lot of utility on board, he had to go down to an MP9. So, sort of is still a mixed buy, but were able to pull together a good, like, some good weaponry. Hype King, he's going to put that MP9 to good use here as well on a closer angle, but timing is going to be everything. He's aware about Johan's positioning possibly, but unfortunately, he does not win that fight regardless. Jersey follows up. Absolute gonna take one to his name as well. Jersey in the end somehow actually ends up killing himself in the game, but Icarus unfortunately seemingly has disconnected. So that's gonna leave only two players behind for CCG in this round, as the bomb has gone down and now they look to save those M4s.
I like this. I like this attack from the terrorist side. Drugs and Pugs. They just go for a straight A rush. While we see one or two players lurking around about. And Fearless Beetle is gonna be found out. He does not have any information on where Kraken might be, so he might be able to just go ahead and secure that M4A1S. Just something to keep onto their names, along with that 90 shield that he remains from the previous round. Oh, somebody's coming towards him. It is a quick rush. It's gonna be not. He's gonna be found out, but he will be able to counter it out. So he is safe for the time being. So again, saying a quick timeout coming in from the CCG side to realize what they are doing wrong. To know the plans of the terrorist side, because every single round, if you notice, in like they are going three-man straight into the side, and two people are going on the flank from mid area, trying to take the entire a side area control so that there are no way CCG can fire them back. And looking at the A side, it is quite hard to retake from from the angles that they're left with out in the open. So I don't blame CCG over here, but it does look like a complicated map in the end.
I mean, of course, every map can be made complicated depending on how you wish to play it. And right now, well, theoretically speaking, CCG they do not have as much experience on it as their opposing team do. Drugs and Pugs have played this game so far five. They played this map, excuse me, so far 5 times in the season. They won that. They won on an ancient twice. They've lost this 3 times, but quite a few of those games have been pretty close as well. So they have the upper hand coming into this map with some experience prior. But CCG unfortunately they have only practically played Anubis except with one exception that was on Nuke. But other than that, they sort of are starting at a disadvantage. It's probably gonna take a little bit longer for them to be able to adjust about how they want to go about playing Ancient in an actual matchup. Of course, scrimming it does give you practice, but it's just not the same thing as an actual match. The environment it's slightly different. The nerves can start to get to you, but it's already sort of a bad start. A map that somewhat favors CT side. The economy, although sort of balances is allowed, given it heavily favors the T side right now in the game. But with the tech pause, it certainly is going to give CCG quite a bit of time to talk about things, how they want to change things up. And now that their backs are sort of against the wall, economically speaking, and they do not have much money to work with, they were able to save one M4 from the last round and are probably going to be purchasing into some SMGs and commit to a half buy here in order to have a full one in the next round with the lost bonus. So we are going to have to wait and see what they decide to do, how they decide to readjust and try and execute in the following round.
Definitely, it looks like we do have a tech pass coming in from TCG's side as they have lost one player, Icarus, in the previous round. If as soon as he gets back, we're going to be going in live, but it is gonna be tough to play with 4 mans. I hope he reconnects very soon. Economically speaking, they are in a rough position, but then again, you said they just need to wait for the enemies to come back, come at them. They know what they have done. They've done the same thing for 3 rounds straight right now, so they need to think about a plan and counter them very very hard. But then again, terrorists, they know if even if you stomp them with the current plans or current thing that they're doing, they're gonna try and do something else because playing 5 times in ancient, they probably have all sorts of things figured out, all sorts of situations that they have faced. As we could say the same thing for CCG on their Anubis map, playing 5 times themselves on that map. They have shown us some really good performances and really bad performances all together. So having to play the same map again and again does give you that sort of experience. But here we are back after a long pause, so CCG had a lot of time to talk about the things that they want to fix and the things that they want to get rid of. But seems like at the very beginning of the round, a quick rush and aggression from Kraken will be put down, as he does give away a lot of information before he went down. Though he saw a few of the players from the side of Drugs and Pugs.
Unfortunately for CCG, that's the only rifle that they had on hand. The M4 eliminated early on, and it's not going to be easy for them to be able to retrieve that either. But the MP9s, they continue to deal damages for Beetle and Hype King. Both of them find a frag each. Man wanted still in favor of CCG, but that's going to get eliminated by Johan. Beetle trying to reclaim it. The AK connects his absolute fine stew, and now it's come down to a 1 versus 1 between Hype King and Johan. Johan, though, tagged down to just 1 HP. The bomb in Hype King's vicinity. So Johan, he's going to try to go for a longer run. He's anticipating and Hype King's anticipating Johan to try and push him from up front, but he may get the gist of it. Timing is going to be everything. Hype King is walking right back, and he is not prepared to take Johan head on. 1 HP and a 1v1 clutch to get the fourth round on board.
And Johan just finds him from the backside, just like that. And with that, CCG loses yet another round. But that was a complete eco round. I would say that was a W round from their side, because even though they have lost the round, I would say that they've taken out 4 members, which means they are going to be economically hurting the terrorist side. On the other hand, they had to spend absolutely nothing on that round. That means they're going to be able to go ahead and buy full everything on this round as well. Icarus having a bit of a tech issue here, disconnected once again. maybe having some internet issues, or maybe the game's glitched out. The game has been having a few trouble. I have been getting disconnected a lot yesterday as well in my normal comp games. I hope that issue gets really fixed out soon so that we can really get away with the game. Having that many disconnections in the game can sometimes put pressure on you as a player, because sometimes the game just becomes weird and you don't know what to do at all, and it just ruins the complete focus of the game. But if we have a complete flow of the game, that's going to be a different case. And Treehan buying that op once again on the fifth round. Yesterday we saw Treehan getting the op on the third round after losing 2 rounds. This time around it's not going to be the case. He's going to be saving up quite a bit before he can actually afford that op. And now having that up, I feel much more confident with CCG, because how big the map is and how many areas you have to cover. I think op is going to be a really good thing to cover up that mid angle, making sure that nobody is infiltrating that area, and having them to shut down the mid area. It is going to be very easy for them to hold down the sites as if they have a fortress of their own.
Yeah, but Ancient is one of the maps where people have actually used double ops quite a lot as well, because pretty much every site and middle as well are great places, especially when you're on the CT side, to pull out that op on. But the problem right now is that CCG, they seem to be struggling to get a hold of those early frags, and that's something that they have been struggling with in pretty much every single matchup that we've seen so far. Most of their round wins that game last time around that they played, even on a map like Anubis, were practically off of the rounds on the T side, when they were able to get a couple of frags to begin with, then infiltrate the site and get a hold of that, forcing the CT side to practically just back off and save until the next round. So CCG, in the rounds where they can convert and find some value behind that op and get one or two frags behind it, or at least set up their team to do so behind that as well, and while pressurizing a lot of and limiting the movement of the side of drugs and pugs, maybe that can help things out. But we're gonna have to wait and see if Trahan is able to execute in such a way. They're not gonna go for that double op. Of course, they do not have the resources to do so, but they should have four rifles on for all five rifles. Of course, op is a rifle indeed itself. But we are back into the game. The tech pause has come to a conclusion, and Icarus has joined back into the game. Still hasn't bought a weapon. Probably would like to change that soon as he's heading back for it. Did buy all of those all the nades that he possibly could have wanted. But there you go. There's the M4, and CCG all invested into this round. If they lose this, they're practically gonna have nothing to work with. The next one might go for a half buy, but they're hoping that they don't have to.
They are hoping that they don't have to. Smokes come in to stop them from entering the site for the time being, but the smokes is only going to last quite only for so long. I like this play from a terrorist side. They are being very patient. They're waiting it out before the smokes go out, before all the utilities are exhausted, and only then they're going to take an entry on this side. On the other hand, on the A side, it is completely opened up. So terrorists for now, they since they got a bit of time to talk about every plans and everything to themselves as well, they know that this time CCG is gonna go with the full buy, so they are gonna be letting playing for information as we see them completely spread out through the entire map. DW will be finding a kill onto Treehan, who goes for an aggressive op pick. He's going to be able to take out one, but he goes out right after that. And now CCG have lost the A side. They have to play the retake on a 3v4. Not the best case scenario in their favor.
Dove spots another player towards middle. That's the op gone as well, by the way. A lot of value already lost. And if one kill goes the way of drugs and pugs, which it does, I would not be surprised if CCG decide to go for a save, but they're not doing so. They want to go for a fight here. They want to take this round away forcefully. It's already come down to a 2 versus 3. Make that a 1 versus 3 as Icarus goes down. One of the player is extremely weak. Kraken finishes him off with a nade, but he still has two more to deal with. Nice shots through the box, but not fatal enough. He's been tagged down to 15 HP himself. Needs to reload his gun, and there's just not enough time. The round comes to a conclusion, and that's going to be the fifth round conceded, while CCG still yet to win their first.
Yep, that is going to be the fifth round conceded, and CCG are still looking towards opening up their round, almost taking out that op at the very end of the round. Kraken dealt some good amount of damage to DUW there, but wasn't able to kill him. If he was able to kill him and secure that up for himself, then Trihan would be very, very happy, as they would have recovered at least something out of that round. But losing that op and investing so much money and losing that round, CCG are going to be suffering quite a lot. We're gonna maybe see something similar to yesterday's game if they do not make something happen, if they do not start winning a few rounds, because we saw them losing 11 rounds on the first half yesterday. On the attacker side, though, they have managed to get 5 rounds, but on the defender side, on the CT side, they only able to secure one side. And I think the CT days for CCG are not going really, really good so far.
That they and it likely is looking like it's gonna get worse right now because CCG they do not have a leg to stand on. Their legs are further being cut off one by a finger by finger as the players continue to fall. They have tied things up though. Anchors gets AJ, and now it is a 3 versus 3. The bomb dropped, and one player stuck amongst the three of CCG. That's gonna be Dove. He literally has no space to walk. He is asking for help and he may just get some, but it's gonna be a little too late. He falls. Bomb has been picked up though. So Johan, he's gonna make a run for it as the A site has been completely taken over by Absolute, and Absolute can absolutely shut this rotation down. He has a lot of space to work with. He is just gonna tuck himself into a corner. He can hear two players at the very least, maybe even all three. He spotted one, gets a headshot. There's the second, and now suddenly it's all come down to Tree Hen. That Molotov gonna force him back. Actually, he's gonna go all past it, and it doesn't even matter. Absolute finishes him off with that AK and a nice 3K from him to get the sixth consecutive round. And so far, it's a flawless game for Drugs and Pugs.
A very flawless game indeed for Drugs and Pugs, as they have win out the sixth round as well, just cornering CCG in every single way possible. As we head on to the seventh round right now, CCG have yet to find their opening in this round. They're gonna save up some of those cash up in their half, but they're gonna buy a bit of utility and SMGs to try and get a few kills perhaps and try and stop them as much as they can. I like this wall coming in, a double jump. Johan finds a kill onto Kraken S here in mid, and that is going to be very, very, very vital for them, as they have lost yet another member. But Fearless Beetle, on the other hand, he will be able to find one, he will be able to find two, and that is two kills that CCG have need very, very much. Onto the ruins, onto the canals. Johan comes out. He's gonna be able to take out one. Hype King does use the op picked up to take out another one, but Johan finds the second kill as well, making it a 2 versus 2 situation. Johan finding two, and Jersey, look at that flank, just finding two more to finish off the round. Johan and Jersey single-handedly, both of them, this duo finishes off CCG, but CCG almost looking better in that round. Playing aggressive did suit them out, and they were able to pick up 3 kills, but they had to lose yet another round.
Yeah, most of their successes that they have had in these rounds and where they were able to close this out have usually come from individuals just showing up and finding ugly cracks. And sure, that is the way to go. Sometimes you need somebody to lead the charge and bring a couple of rounds together to boost the confidence of the team, but you cannot rely on that to be happening consistently. So far, it's not even happened once right now. So CCG, so far, they're down by 7. Haven't won a single round, and there's still 5 more rounds to be played in the very first half. Fearless Beetle, a nice little push, was able to deal a lot of damage, but unfortunately, just wasn't lethal. He further takes some more health away on from Johan, but that M4, it's not as fatal as an AK can be.
Definitely. Finding if that headshot onto Johan did inflict a lot of damage. I did hear the helmet go through like peck sound, but Johan is still surviving. He's still very in good condition. Last time we saw him clutching out with 1 HP, so having 22 is just 22 times better than that 1 HP. So him trying to infiltrate this top mid area will be entering the house, but Trihan is waiting on him on the other side of the map. On the other hand, B side is completely getting opened up. Hype King will be able to find out one kill. Jersey looking for an entry. He might not be able to find anyone as of yet, but Icarus Kraken gets 2 kills, and that is 2 down. Kraken finds yet another one through the smoke, making it a 3v1 situation. Finally, the vacation that CCG was looking for will be granted as they win their first round on the CT side, and might not be the last.
It hopefully isn't, because if it is, well, the score that would be very similar to what we had by the end of the first half yesterday as well, which was 11-1. And CCG, they do not want to be put in such a situation again, ever again, hopefully. But one thing that you have to applaud CCG for is they were able to keep a lot of those rounds well contested. They were able to take away quite a lot of those lives and practically lost not even a single one except the second round of the game flawlessly. So they were able to keep the economy on the side of drugs and bugs in check. As you can see, they only lost their first round and they already are having to compromise on some of their weaponry. Fearless Beetle gonna start off the round correctly as Dove falls to his hands. That's gonna be the lurker gone, while the rest of the squad of drugs and bugs, they are making their way onto the side of A. Sort of pinched down. The Molotov lands on Johan, but it's not gonna deny the bomb Kraken. And he's having a crackdown here as he's taken two. Johan trying to retaliate, but suddenly it's Absolute on an island up against three. He gets one. The spray transfer not good enough, and Kraken a 4K for him to get the second round of CCG on board.
Amazing 4K coming in from Kraken to secure the round in their favor. Fearless Beetle picks up the last one, and I would say that you were absolutely correct about just one man popping off, getting triple kills, getting quadra kills is absolutely important to actually lead the team, to motivate the team. Like, hey, I'm doing 3K 4K, and it kind of puts you in a different zone, in a different level of motivation in you, that just completely lets you pop off in the next few rounds as well. Just lets you, get more focused in the game. And CCG, having lost 7 rounds in a row, this 2 rounds that they have won, and Kraken pulling out that 4K will put them up in the zone and boost their confidence by quite a lot, which means that's going to help them win the next rounds. Now, eco rounds coming in from the terrorist side, which means all Tech Nines are going to be there. But you have to remember, all the eco rounds from CCG has been quite vital. They were able to get 3 and 4 kills out of those eco rounds, and this might as well just be the case here for terrorists. If not, CCG are careful, but they are going to be very, very careful, as they're not able to make any mistakes. A pretty nice wallbang coming in, getting Jersey. They do get the plant off, so that's going to give them some economy, but they have not been able to get that many kills. So CCG are going to be happy with just giving away the bomb, as long as they don't lose any members, as long as they don't lose any guns, as long as they don't lose much of the economy, and CCG wins their third round.
We head into the second last round of the half as CCG confirmed that at the very least they won't be facing off against a double digits lead by the end of the first half. And Rugs and Bugs, now they have an arsenal to work with, and a properly built one as well. Last round they didn't have anything to work with. Hence it was a very comfortable round for CCG to win. But now that we only have 2 more rounds, CCG, if they're able to close them out, could be a very comfortable second half for them as well, if they can keep that momentum going. But they need to be able to win these out. This could still turn out to be a terrible scoreline for them if it's a 9-3 or something. Jersey equalizes the number out by finding Icarus. And Beetle spots a player out. Nice headshots to trade achieved. That's going to slow Drugs and Bugs down further. They have no real estate on the map to their name right now. Some presence over towards middle, and as soon as the smoke fades, they're going to have to fight for it. They need to be quick about it. They push over towards Donut. The bomb still hasn't made its way, and it will have to face off against Beetle. Unfortunately, Beetle doesn't win that. AJ tagged down to 15 HP. A couple of players very tagged up for Drugs and Bugs, but the bomb is going to go down, and a man advantage in the post round for them to work with.
It is not the most impossible retake. They do have utilities available on their hand, and two of the members from the side of drugs and pugs are very very low. If they are connecting one bullet onto them, they are going to be able to find those kills. AJ finds Freehand all the way in the back, which does put them now in a sort of
Ooh.
impossible positioning. A nice molly comes in. Can he go for the defuse? He does have a kit available on him, but the headshot from DUW is just gonna end the things there for CCG, as after ecoing, they do manage to come back really, really strong back into the game, and CCG are back at the losing streak again, the place where they didn't want it to be. And now, as you mentioned, we don't want to switch the things with 9 and 3. That would be really, really bad. But 8 and 4, I'm still okay with that.
It's not a pleasant scoreline, 8-4, but it sort of does have a silver lining to it, given how bad a start CCG had. Nice shot from AJ, unfortunately. It doesn't take Kraken's life, but that M4 in the hands of Beetle certainly will. Absolute falls. A man advantage early on. CCG that haven't able to achieve the bomb still drop. And Drugs and Bugs, they have usually taken their time before they push it onto a side. They've played some mind games repeatedly with CCG. This time around, it seems like CCG have gotten a gist of it. They haven't exactly cracked it yet, but they understand. Freehen, he's gotten one more. Hype King, on the other hand, does fall. So it's still a one-man advantage. Make that two again as Freehen continues to deliver with the op. Two remain. It's all going to come down to Johan now in a 1 versus 4. He's currently tucked away in a smoke, surrounded by CCG players, and he's found an opening. Perfect timing onto Icarus. The second player is weak. He gets that with ease. Freehand with an op. It's not an ideal position for him to take this fight. Beetle on the flank. Timing is going to be everything. Johan may have just ran away with this one scot-free. The Molotov gonna keep Beetle back for the time being. The USP gives away Freehand's positioning. He picks up the weapon, but the timing isn't right. Johan, he's made this so much more possible than it should have been. 1 versus 1, a couple of flashes in his hand, one in the hands of Beetle as well, and an M4 for him to deny a 1 versus 4. CCG, they were here last match as well. Unfortunately, it didn't end well for them. Will history repeat itself? Although on a different map, on a different battleground, but it will be a tragedy, and it will be a tragedy repeated as the ninth round gets secured and Johan clutches a 1 versus 4.
CCG, despite having that early advantage on this round, finding that first blood, and Treehan finding absolutely amazing 2 kills with the op, but he was surrounded. He was cornered when they rushed him all the way to the B side. He had nowhere to escape and no backup from his teammate whatsoever. The backup, all that came, was taken out, was dealt with by Drugs and Pugs, and with that, they are going to be able to secure the ninth round, looking very comfortable going into the second half. But CCG can't say the same thing for them. But it has been a little bit better
Oh.
than yesterday's scene, and oh my god. At the very beginning of the round, Johan playing very aggressive out on the mid, gonna be able to find 2, but finally gets taken out by Icarus. But the damage has already been inflicted, the information has already been given out. But CCG is still trying to inflict the mid here. Icarus finding 1, but immediately bringing out the knife will cost him a double life of his teammates. Icarus, Fearless Bill both gets down now. It's all down to Hype King in a 1v3 situation, and he's gonna be taken out. Losing that pistol round is just another pin in the coffin for CCG, and things are looking very, very great for them as they head towards the downfall on this ancient map.
3 more rounds needed for Drugs and Pugs to close this game out as well. They do have a better buy, but CCG, they've opted to go for a force one here. 3 SMGs, a couple of Tech 9s. Decent amount of utility as well. So they do have a shot at this, given that they are facing off against 2 M4s and 3 MP9s. They just have to choose their fights, and they have to choose them wisely.
They
A lot of
definitely do.
presence.
B side, getting pressured on by CCG over here. But Johan, again, this man is popping off everywhere. He comes in from behind, going to be able to take out one. Kraken takes the trade, but the damage has already been done. Kraken finds another one with the Tech 9. AJ falls down. They will pick up, will be able to pick up the M4 from him. Few guns dropped out on that area if they want to pick it up from CCG's side, as we see Hype King still onto that Tech 9 on him. Might be able to just go run in and pick up the gun that Johan dropped earlier, but looks like they're going to be thinking about opening. Never mind, they are actually heading towards that side. Picking up those guns will help him deal more damage, be more active as he picks up the Mac 10 that was dropped out over there. And Jersey, look at him trying to be sneaky, go behind the enemies. Every single time either of the team has won the round or has gotten very close to the round are the ones that they have been super aggressive with on the CT side, by the way. So every time you see CCG winning the round or getting close to winning the rounds, that those were the rounds where they were super aggressive. Here, Absolute tries to walk in the side. He's just gonna be going down and he's just gonna give away another M4, and that is something that CCG would highly appreciate as they are able to win the round and pick up two guns from the enemy side, and that was the second round after losing the pistol round, which means the bonus round, which should have gone in the favor of drugs and pugs. CCG were able to snatch that away from them. And now I think they have a really good position, not the best one, but still in a very good position to make a comeback in this game.
They certainly do. They were able to get a hold of those M4s. They got an MP9 as well. While their opposing side, they're having to work with just pistols so far. 357s, a couple of deagles, no utility whatsoever remaining in their hands. So practically, actually, the best case scenario that they could have asked for, the next two rounds should, including this one that is, should be easy for CCG to close out. But it's CS. One player can pop off and turn things around quite quickly, and Johan, he has not been shy to do so. Currently standing at 21 frags, far more than anybody else in the whole game right now. Unfortunately, it seems like that might just not be the case this time around, as two of his fellows have already fallen. Johan, he wanted to trade it out, but backs off. Plays this one safely. Absolute, he should get picked off here as well. Spotted out, some damage dealt, and he's gonna back off himself. While the push starts to make its way onto the B side. And there's not a lot that Rugs and Pugs can do about it.
Only having pistols in their hand, they do not have much to answer for, but they can only hope and find any frags that they can take. Here, Fearless Beetle is literally on top of the crosshair of Jersey, but Jersey, he does not have any idea as he's going to be taken out. And the Fearless Beetle want to go for more, want to secure some fundings for himself as he finds out yet another one. Johan, this time around, without doing anything, he goes out. He has been a massive um for their team, Drugs and Pugs. Johan sitting at 21 kills. Not only he's at double digit, but he's at on another level on double digit. 21 kills, 8 deaths on himself, inflicting 2,000 damage. This man has been popping off really much and been a really good entry fragger for the side of Drugs and Pugs. And now on the defense side, he has to do much as looks like Absolute, he's going to be able to take out one. Kraken as goes out, a headshot onto him before the round ended, but was not able to secure the gun. So I wouldn't really say that Vid helped them out quite a lot. But that's one gun away from Kraken, because that does count a bit.
Another round with just pistols across the board for Rugs and Pugs. And as I said, this could be momentum changing right here. They win this round. CCG win this round out. They get their confidence back. They're only down by 4. The next round gonna be highly crucial. If they can win that, when Drugs and Bugs have gotten their hands on rifles, if they win that round out, their comeback would look very real. Beetle off to a good start in this one, and they likely will not struggle here. They have lost a player out, but not before Beetle was able to find another one. for his journey to the grave. Now, CCG, they have to make sure that they don't lose many players, because then it would be problematic for them in the next one. They have to hold on to as many of these weapons and try to build up an economy, because will not get a better chance of doing so than this. But unfortunately, Absolute, he's not going to allow that to happen. He's gotten one already. That's two players fallen, although Treehan does trade it out. But the most important factor right now for Dragon Bugs was the economical damage. Sure, it has been averted to quite an extent, but still losing those two players, they're going to have to drop those weapons away. Although it's not going to be as big a hit, certainly it might be felt if CCG start to lose rounds moving forward, but they certainly do not have any intention of doing so now that they have put themselves at a somewhat decent position here.
A very, very good round secured by CCG, and they are looking very, very strong right now. CCG have a knack of winning a lot of rounds on the attacker side, on the terrorist side, which is something I think I've seen quite a lot for as of now. But they have to keep this thing going, the winning streak going. They have won so far. They have now won almost 3 rounds without dropping any single rounds after they won that second round. But this time around, the CT, they're going to be attacking them with full forces. They have full buy, but here on the side, the CCG are not going to be able to win out the trades. The gunfire is going on left and right, and CCG have caught themselves onto the crossfire as they lose a lot of members there. And now it's all down to those last members. Krakenass is going to be falling out, and Hype King, he takes out Johan, but he will be taken out with that FAMAS as well. Jersey finding that kill, and that up proving to be a menace for the side of CCG. AJ finding two on that round, and that was just like one of the few because AJ has been really, really active with that operator because he has found he had found many kills on the terrorist side, and he had found many on the CT side as well.
4 players remaining for CCG. They've lost one already, and now they're in very dangerous territory. They lose this round, they'll be conceding map point. They do not want to be put in such a place right now, and they do not have any money to work with afterwards either. They're gonna slow down, and so is Drugs and Bugs. They're not gonna go on the offense, at least not for the time being. But CCG, they have to be careful here. They have to think their approach through. They make one mistake, they have no money to work with, and the game could very much just be over if they lose this round.
Could very much be over. They still have the advantage when it comes to gun. They are holding on to 3 AKs here with decent amount of utilities on their favor. They do have the bomb with them as well. The C4 is not lost anywhere, not lost with the two players that have been taken out on the other side. But AJ comes in again, clutch, taking out Hype King, but he is finally going to be taken out. Kraken goes in with another one, double kill for him. Kraken needs to find yet another one. There's another guy with the SMG. That's where you don't want to take a fight with him. A close range combat where SMG does excel much, much more. And now it's Icarus all to himself. He has to be careful. He does not have much time to work with only 14 seconds remaining. He actually goes back to find someone, thinking that someone might be behind him as Johan comes in, picks up the kill onto him, and that is gonna be the match point for the side of Pugs and Drugs and Pugs.
And that's what we were fearing, sort of. They lose the round. No money whatsoever. They're forced down to Tech 9s and a couple of Mac 10s. It worked out for them with this exact setup in the second round, but they weren't facing off against a match point. The nerves weren't as high and the stakes weren't as high of that particular round, but right now it is. They lose this, they're done for. Another loss will be handed to them, and and a 2-7 record is not a good one to try and mount a comeback from. But it's not a great start. Johan finds two. Dove follows up, and Johan will be the one that put things to bed again. A flawless round to conclude things out, and 26 frags for Johan. An absolute monster on Ancient that CCG had to face off against, unfortunately. Another day and a game that seemed like it had potential to go close, but had some of those rounds, had some of those fights taken a different route. Maybe it had been a close game as well, but unfortunately that just did not happen for CCG.
Yeah, absolutely right. You are on that side. CCG starting winning the ninth round and starting out on the CT side. They were not having the best time in CT side. Yesterday they lost. They switched side with 111. Today they switched side with 3-9, which is not the best score to switch sides with. CT side, I feel like they need to work out on their defenses. They need to work out on their retakes. They need to work out on their position. The 3 rounds they won and a few other rounds that they've gotten very close to winning them on ancient map was the rounds where they played aggressive. The rounds that they tried to play defensive, tried to play retake, did not work out in their favor at all. That does tell us that they need to work on their team play. They need to work on their strategies a little bit more. And I feel like on the CT side, the way that Drugs and Pugs were able to utilize their op, CCG were not able to do utilize their op like that at all. Treehan on the op on CT side was only able to get 2 kills, but AJ on the op on the other side on the CT side on also on terrorist side were able to get much more out of that operator value. They have bought 2 ops on CT side, one bot on at the 04 at fifth round, and then another one bot at 07 at eighth round, but none of them was utilized. It was brought down pretty early and it was given away to the enemy pretty easily. And I feel like CCG needs to work on these facts quite a lot before they can feel like they're strong and can take out these opponents. But they are still not out of the tournament yet. Inflict, as you would, if you would like to enlighten us on what we're gonna see from CCG on next week.
Well, they do, of course, have 3 more games to be played at the very least, and next week, and are going to have a couple of more afterwards. But the next matchup is going to be played on Monday, which is going to be against Marsa Registrada. So make sure you guys tune in on Monday, 9 p.m. EST, to see if CCG can start to mount a comeback. But so far, it hasn't looked likely. But they are looking to approach different avenues, different maps as well. Hope maybe something works out. Maybe they have a wild card in their back pocket. But we're gonna have to wait until Monday to find out. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be goodbye. So have a good night. Sayonara.